if you were to read the speeches of the Irish Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, you would think that Ireland was at the forefront in terms of campaigning for the people of the Gaza. If you look at their actions, a different story kind of comes out. 200 years later, you read Daniel O'Connell's speeches, great words, wonderful words, but they're just words. I think we should be as cynical towards Daniel O'Connell as he was towards politics anyway. Like, he was a very cynical mover. He was a tricky dicky, he would read the room, and then he would then kind of go for that. If anyone can point to me any British kind of politician who was pro-slavery in the 1830s, then I'll take my hat off then for fucking Daniel O'Connell. It's marketing. See it for what it was. It's the one thing they have, and they have to use it. A lot of the Daniel O'Connell myth really has to do with the Troubles. So when you have the Troubles in the north, going back to the two traditions that are in kind of Irish history, there's the so-called a constitutional one, and then there's the physical force kind of tradition in terms of kind of Irish kind of independence. They needed someone in Irish history that they could then use to say that, well, he's our thing. It's amazing how they were able to turn Daniel O'Connell into a Martin Luther King figure, as if that was just but they needed them for that. So we served that purpose in the 1970s and the 1980s. So again, going back to how history is being used, so he is being marketed in that way now. If you were to read the speeches of the Irish Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, if you were to read their speeches, you would think that Ireland was at the forefront in terms of backing and campaigning for the people of the Gaza. If you look at their actions, a different story kind of comes out. So 200 years later, you read Daniel O'Connell's speeches, great words, wonderful words, but they're just words.